Please like, subscribe, and comment. Today, we're going deep, really deep, into Area 51, a place most people just think of as like government secrets and aliens,
Yeah, a place that really captures the imagination, blending real history with, well, mysteries that haven't been solved.
We've got some great stuff to look at today. Declassified documents, first-hand accounts, even some pop culture stuff. We're going to try to get to the bottom of all of it, cut through all the noise.
The real Area 51, what actually went on out there in the desert?
In the Nevada desert.
Right, Nevada desert.
So where do we even begin with something like this?
Well, like with anything, I think going back to the beginning is the best place to start. Area 51 wasn't always thought of as like a UFO alien conspiracy spot.
Right.
It was established back in 1955 during the Cold War.
Okay, so peak tension between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. They were fighting to be on top, technology-wise. But why this location? Why would they pick the middle of the Nevada desert to do all this secret stuff?
Well, the isolation was a big factor. Think about it. This is the time of spy planes and high-altitude reconnaissance. They needed a place that was hidden to test all these new aircraft.
Yeah.
Somewhere away from, well, prying eyes.
Right, and you mentioned spy planes. Our sources talk a lot about the U-2, a plane that could fly so high it could avoid Soviet radar.
Exactly.
Was that the main reason behind Area 51? To build this U-2?
I think it was definitely a big part of it. The U-2 program, which Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works was running, they needed a place that was safe and isolated to do test flights and training, and Area 51 fit the bill.
Skunk Works?
Yeah, it was a super secret division of Lockheed Martin, all about developing cutting-edge aircraft.
Interesting. So Area 51 was officially just like a, what'd you call it, detachment of Edwards Air Force Base.
Right, a detachment. I think that just made it even more secretive, It was like a secret branch operating under the radar, literally. That designation let them have a ton of autonomy and secrecy, which was really important given how sensitive the projects were that they were working on. And the U-2, that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, wow. So what else was there?
Well, there was the SR-71 Blackbird. Have you heard of that one?
Oh, yeah, the one that can fly Mach 3. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And then the F-117 Nighthawk, the world's first stealth aircraft.
Exactly. Every one of these planes, they pushed the limits of what we thought was possible with aviation technology. The Blackbird, it just looks so sleek, so fast, it became a symbol of the Cold War. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, it could outrun anything, avoid anything. It could gather intel from space.
From space?
Well, the edge of space.
Yeah.
And the F-117.
Yeah.
Undetectable to radar. Changed air combat forever. It's pretty crazy to think all of that was happening in the Nevada desert.
It's pretty wild. It seems almost like a paradox. You have this desolate, empty place, but at the same time, it's this hub of innovation, a birthplace of technology that would change, well, the whole world, really. But it feels like this is also where things start to get a little mysterious, right?
Oh, absolutely. Alongside all these confirmed projects, you started to hear rumors about even more secret stuff. Experimental aircraft, new propulsion systems, even technologies that most people couldn't even understand.
And then people start seeing things, strange lights, weird sounds, all coming from the desert around Area 51.
Well, you have to remember, this is the height of the Cold War. Everyone was paranoid. Anything strange in the sky, people thought, is that the Soviets? Is that a new American weapon? People were scared.
So you're saying some of these UFO sightings could have been, what, the U-2? Or the SR-71?
Yeah, it makes sense. Imagine you're out there, it's before dawn, and you see a U-2 flying at 70,000 feet. It would be this silent gliding thing, catching the light from the sun. It's easy to see how someone might think, what is that? It's got to be something from another world.
Right. Misidentification, just Cold War nerves. That explains some of it. But there's projects that are even more secretive. We've got some stuff on this supposed Aurora aircraft, a plane that can go faster than Mach 5.
Hypersonic.
Yeah, hypersonic.
Aurora is, well, if it even exists, it's the next step for aviation. Flying 5 times faster than the speed of sound, that would give you a massive advantage. You could respond to anything, anywhere in the world, super fast.
And we've got some reports of sonic booms, odd contrails above Nevada, maybe Aurora test flights. It's pretty mind-blowing to think that kind of tech was being developed at Area 51.
Right.
But all this secrecy, it makes you wonder, are they being honest with us? Who's keeping them accountable?
That's the thing about classified projects. It's always a trade-off. You need secrecy, especially during the Cold War, but when you're not transparent, people don't trust you, and that's how you get all these conspiracy theories about Area 51.
Right. And I think the biggest one, the one that everyone knows, is that Area 51 isn't just about building planes. It's about alien technology, right?
It's a good one. The idea that there's alien tech, maybe even crashed spaceships, being kept at Area 51, that's a powerful image. And that idea, it all really started with a guy named Robert Lazar back in 1989. Lazar claimed he worked at the super secret facility called S4, close to Area 51. He said they had him reverse engineering alien spacecraft.
Wild.
It is, right. And he had all these descriptions of like crazy propulsion systems tech that was way beyond anything we could make. It really got people talking.
And it makes sense, right? It taps into this, I don't know, this fascination we all have with UFOs and aliens. It makes you wonder if the government really is hiding something.
Exactly. And it's not just Lazar, right? We have all this stuff about Roswell.
Roswell in 47, the alleged UFO crash.
Right. A UFO crash covered up by the government. And of course, people thought that whatever they found there, alien bodies, pieces of the craft, it all ended up at Area 51.
To be studied.
Of course. It's still a big debate, Roswell, I mean. The official story kept changing, and when you add that to all the secrecy around Area 51, well, it's no wonder people think something big is being hidden.
And this whole thing, the secrecy, the speculation, it's made Area 51 more than just a base. It's like a cultural icon now.
It really is. We have files here that talk about how Area 51 is everywhere in pop culture. Independence Day, the X-Files. It's become this symbol for the unknown, for government secrets. It's like the ultimate mystery.
Totally. And it all culminated in 2019 with that whole Storm Area 51 thing.
Oh, yeah. Millions of people saying they were going to storm the Bayou.
It's the truth. It was all over the news. And I mean, sure, it was mostly a joke, but it shows you how obsessed people are with Area 51.
For sure.
But got to play devil's advocate here, right? All this talk about conspiracies and aliens, it's easy to forget there are real reasons why Area 51 is so secret.
Oh, absolutely. National security, that's got to be the top priority. Especially during the Cold War. Protecting your technology, keeping other countries from stealing your secrets, that's all critical, especially when you're trying to stay ahead of everyone else.
Right, and you can't argue with the results. The U-2, the SR-71, the F-117, all developed at Area 51. They changed everything. Intelligence gathering, the balance of power.
Absolutely game changers.
Yeah.
And they needed that secrecy to protect those advancements. It was for the good of the country, you know?
But, and I think this is important, the secrecy, it also creates problems, right? If you're not transparent with people, they don't trust you. And that leads to all these conspiracy theories. It's a tough balance.
It is. How do you balance national security with the public's right to know? And this is even more important now with all the new tech being developed. Drones, for instance, that brings up a whole new set of ethical questions.
Our sources mentioned Area 51 played a big part in developing drones. They talk about the RQ-170 Sentinel, a stealth drone used in all sorts of, well, let's just say sensitive operations.
Right. And the more we rely on drones, the more we have to ask ourselves, what are the limits? What about surveillance? What about, taking human beings out of the equation of warfare?
Big questions. But it all goes back to this idea that Area 51, for all the secrecy, it has had a huge impact on the world. It's not just some place out in the desert. It's part of history. It's captured our imagination. And it's making us think about the future of warfare. It's a lot to think about. Area 51.
Yeah.
It makes you realize how much we don't know. All this mystery. It's kind of exciting and kind of scary at the same time. But what about the future? What's happening at Area 51 now? What's its role in, all this 21st century stuff?
Well, it's definitely still an active place. Lots of research and development going on. Our sources suggest they're still working on things like hypersonic flight, new materials, even directed energy systems, like lasers and stuff.
Wow, lasers. So they're still pushing the limits, still innovating. But things are different now, right? We have drones, cyber warfare, all these new ways of fighting. Yeah. Is Area 51 even relevant anymore? Or is it just a leftover from the Cold War?
It's a good question. Yeah, warfare's changed a lot, but the need for better tech to be ahead of everyone else, that hasn't gone away. And Area 51, it's always been about pushing those boundaries. Think about it. Autonomous drones, hypersonic missiles, maybe even weapons in space.
Space weapons. That's getting pretty sci-fi. And then you have all these rumors about alien technology.
Right.
That we've somehow reverse engineered it. And that's where some of our biggest advancements come from. Some of the stuff on material science, propulsion, it's pretty out there.
It is, but it's hard to ignore. It keeps coming up. I think it speaks to this part of us that's always looking for something bigger, something beyond what we know. Maybe there are answers hidden at Area 51, things we can't even imagine yet.
Who knows? But one thing's for sure. Whether it's stuff we've come up with ourselves or maybe something else helped us along, Area 51 shows how far we've come, how curious we are, how much we want to push the limits.
Exactly. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from all this, from diving deep into Area 51. It's this reminder that we're kind of, well, two sides of the same coin. We want to explore the universe, but we also love secrets, we love mystery, and then we have these amazing technologies, and we have to decide how to use them, what's right, what's wrong. It's a lot to think about.
It is. It's like Area 51 forces us to confront all these things, the unknown, the power we have, the choices we make. It reminds us that there's still so much out there we don't understand. Maybe there are answers, maybe not, but it's the searching that matters, you know?
Absolutely. Stay curious, keep asking questions, and never stop being amazed by the world. You never know what we might find, what we might discover right around the corner.
Well said. This has been a fascinating deep dive, that's for sure. A mix of history, mystery, technology. It really makes you appreciate what we're capable of. And who knows what the future holds for Area 51 for us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive. Until then, keep exploring the unknown.